Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 152 of LostinTranslationmon. I'm May.
And I'm Jay.
And this time we watched Ewan and the Land of Illusion.
Or, Brother, we, the nightmarish enemy, General You.
I loved that. That was my favourite. And Psych Out in Cyberland.
Or, the mysterious Cyberland, the beauty of Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal City. Full Metal City.
No, Full Metal Alchemist, because you missay it. See, I kind of wanted you to say Siberia, as in
Oh, that's a good one.
The best part in Lane, which was the
name.
nightclub. The nightclub called Siberia. And I feel like Lane should have gone in a bear outfit at some point, and it would have been called Siberia.
Ooh, that's pretty
one
good.
extra level. And we also watched The Water Tiger's Slippery Trap.
Or, X-Rose Heartbreak Up Creasus, Water Tiger's General Unspeakable Trape.
For DigiNews this week, first up, there's a new VPET that's going to be up for pre-orders, I believe, in September. And it is possibly not a direct continuation from the Digimon Pendulum X, which had the X antibody Digimon on it, but it will be X antibody themed. So that's interesting. I hope it's better than the Digimon Pendulum X, because that was very hard to
Is it going to be just one big X antibody?
Yes. I don't know.
Just hold it in your hands, and you'd be like, what is this? And then nothing tells you.
Like, yeah, true. But speaking of which, I feel like they've remembered that X evolution and X antibodies are a thing.
I wish they wouldn't.
Also releasing the new, like, another chapter of Digimon Chronicle or something. There's only a bit of information about it, but that's...
So what is that?
Digimon Chronicle was the mini manga that they released alongside the Digimon Pendulum X. And, like, in part of the manual. And it more or less was the story of Digimon X Evolution, but with partner humans.
I was going to say, but with a story that makes sense, maybe?
It wasn't...
Your hesitance says no?
Look, because it didn't have a story in it. It was just mainly, like, these little... Like, a really short comic strip about, like, X antibodies and Yggdrasil.
Okay, but if it at least tells you what Yggdrasil is, that's something, right?
Well, they always just say Yggdrasil is God.
Oh, I'm so upset. This is the worst franchise.
See, Sabers told us.
Everyone who likes this, it's just a mistake.
I'm sorry.
You have made a mistake.
And then for a bit of LostinTranslationmon, there are new videos on our channel. There's another Battle Spirits Digimon unboxing video. I did 2 of those. And I've started to do Cyber Sleuth streams again, so I did one last Monday. Nobody came into the stream, but the recording is up there.
Is that the sequel?
Yeah, the Hacker's Memory. Yeah, Hacker's Memory came out in January. I just haven't been playing it.
Weird. Who are you?
Well, I wanted to do it in stream only, but, like, I was going to stream it, and then I sprained my ankle, and I didn't want to do anything, and then I broke my collarbone, and I didn't want to do anything.
I'm sensing a pattern.
And then
I'm sensing a pattern of you intentionally breaking your bones to not to do stuff. Yeah?
I've only broken one bone.
Yeah, I'm on to you.
Yeah, that's me, always getting really sick. And I believe I'll try to be doing this every Monday night, but of course the full video of the stream will be up basically instantaneously because of YouTube. So that's the thing. I want to continue. I had to find out where I was in the story because I couldn't remember, and then I remembered that I could just ask Mireille, I think that was her name.
Don't know I haven't answered one.
Cyber Sleuth is so good. I'm very happy. It's weird because like the second one is taking place at the same time as the first one. And sometimes, so sometimes your character, because you can load from your save of the first game. So even though I've only played maybe an hour or 2 of Hacker's Memory, it actually said that my playtime is 172 hours or something.
Okay.
Because I loaded from my Cyber Sleuth save, and now I have, I keep on running, my character keeps on walking past. That's
weird. That's actually really cool. I kind of like that as a mechanic.
Yeah, it's really cute, because it's showing you, hey, while you're doing this, your character has just done this. And your character in Hacker's Memory, who is just you don't choose, if you're a boy or a girl, you just you get given the character who looks like he's perpetually, scared of something. He looks like he's seen something.
Like Waluigi.
But anyway, the thing is, your character will just sort of see things that happened because of the character in Cyber Sleuth. Yeah. I don't know, it's a really, really cool mechanic.
So who is this character in relation, or is it a totally different story?
You are a hacker.
Okay, that doesn't help me here.
You're in a hackers group. I haven't played enough of it to really know where I am in relation to the story. I'm just trying to get something out of these hackers that I work with, and the character from the first game is beating up the characters, and there's something going on with the hackers, and I'm trying to work out what's going on with the hackers, but myself from the first game is beating them up before I get there, and it's just like, hey, who are you? Who is this person who keeps on beating up the hackers?
It's like Persona. I love that, when you see the people from the old games.
And on to Obnoxious Synopsis. The first episode they're watching this week is called Ewan and the Land of Illusion, or Brother, Why? The Nightmarish Enemy, General Yu. What do you think will happen this episode?
Well, the only thing that really can happen based on the name is that Yun shows up as the bad guy and they finally sort of figure it all out, and you get to have Nene sort of have her whole moment where she sort of has to combat herself and realize what her ultimate mission has to be is to defeat her brother. But she's not going to get that right now, but it'll be the introduction of that.
Right.
The only thing I can gather out of the illusion realm is that maybe for the first... hold on a second. They haven't seen him yet, I assume? I can't remember.
Kiriha's seen him, and he said, hey, I saw a guy who was blonde. In the dub, He says, hey, I think I saw Ewan.
Destroyed.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
But in the canon one, basically, because they haven't seen him yet, I wouldn't be shocked if they went to the illusion world and they saw something they thought, it's not quite a Digimon, but it's like a dude in armor or something, and he's like, haha, I'm the general, and it only comes out near the end of the episode that it's the brother. That's sort of what this puts me in the mind of.
Right. So you think he's sort of going to be in disguise?
For a little bit. And then he'll show up to twist the knife, because he's weird.
Right.
/ cruel, I guess.
So how do you think Nene will handle it?
Badly. Well, she should handle it badly. It'd be weird if she took it in stride.
Well, do you think
that's about what I expected.
Do you think the show will have her respond in a reasonable way? Because sometimes the show makes them reasonably okay with horribly terrifying things.
Oh, not in this circumstance. No, I don't think she'll handle it well at all. Because her first instinct is going to be to protect him, which means not beating him, and that's... Mm-hmm. It would make sense for that to undermine their first attempt at beating him, but I don't think that'll even happen yet, because they only find out at the end of the episode, because that's what happens with this show. They find out revelations at the end of the episode.
And do you think that the show will remember that Mervamon has a brother, or do you think they're just going to give that up on that completely?
Did they leave him behind?
No, they're still in Honeyland at the moment.
Well, no, but they're not going to be.
They
might say goodbye.
Honeyland. In the last episode, they didn't leave Honeyland.
It's called the Land of Illusion. It's in the name.
Oh, okay.
They're going elsewhere.
So you think they're going elsewhere?
Because that's what they do. Yeah.
To a different kingdom?
I mean, they already beat this kingdom, right?
All right, okay. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
Yeah, if Nene takes everything too well, but I don't think she will. This one's impossible to miss, right? You couldn't screw this up? Yeah.
And do you think it'll be a good episode?
It should be, but honestly, it kind of sounds like if it goes the way I think it will, it's sort of just dragging out a thing that you already knew, and as a result, it's a little bit of a waste of time because it doesn't further the plot at all to make the kids not know they're against Yun. And yeah, that can be really interesting in a lot of circumstances, like when we freaked out about, God, what was his name? In Atmon.
Hajime. The little brother?
No, redhead kid.
Redhead kid? Oh, Yujin.
Yeah, we freaked out about Yujin for ages and ages, and it made us wait for it. But that was interesting because there's tension involved in that, because it's sort of a thing we know and the good guys don't.
Right.
But because he's in a place that makes them vulnerable, whereas in this situation, just because you don't know who the bad guy opposite you actually is, doesn't mean you're not on guard against the bad guy opposite you. So there's not really any tension in that.
Right.
Unless they kill him, that creates tension. But they're not going to, because they'll lose it first, because they haven't evolved yet again.
Okay, and what rating?
6? I don't know.
Okay. So, pretty hopeful.
It's going to be better than neutral, I guess.
That's good. And filler or not filler?
It's not almost filler, but it can't be because they find out something important. So I guess it's not.
Right. Then the second episode we're watching this week is called Psych Out in Cyberland, or The Mysterious Cyberland, The Beauty of Full Metal City. What do you think will happen this episode?
Well, that's weird. It sounds almost like a different one again, which makes me think the last one isn't a new land. It's just a part of it, or it's like one of Yun's Digimon is like an illusion-based thing, like Mysterio from the Spider-Mans, because it's
Hmm.
way too quick for them to be going to a place called Cyberland already. Um, I guess I've reevaluated that one. So I guess they finish up with Honeyland last time, and then they get booted to Cyberland at some stage here. I don't remember the rest of the name.
The rest of the name, Mysterious Cyberland, the beauty of Full Metal City.
I guess there's a city there. Like I got nothing for you. That tells me nothing.
And they're psyching out, apparently.
Apparently,
Apparently. Maybe.
unless this is the illusion zone, and they're freaking out about it. But I got nothing for you.
Okay. And do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
Um, if they run out of budget and it's all drawn like in pencil, like in the not the like in the Evangelion finale, yeah, that would
Oh.
do it.
Yeah, true. Do you think it'll be a good episode?
No,
And what rating?
2. I
Oh,
don't know.
wow.
It's entertaining to me to guess low because I got nothing to work with.
At least then you'll get surprised, right? If it's good.
Maybe
And then, so filler or not
citation
filler?
needed. It's the closest thing that could be filler, so let's go with yes. That would justify the 2,
Right.
especially
Then,
right after the last thing. Probably
yeah.
not, but whatever. Let's go with it.
So you think it's going to be the usual, like, after a big reveal, we kind of just have an easy episode? Or easy as
Is
in
that a usual thing?
Okay,
Is that a pattern?
okay, I'm going to rephrase that. The writers have an easy episode?
Maybe.
Alright. So then the third... oh, wait, did I ask you if it was filler or filler?
You
Filler or filler?
literally just did.
Okay, good. I thought so, I just want to make sure. Then the third episode is called The Water Tiger's Slippery Trap, or Crossheart Breakup Crisis, Water Tiger General's Despicable Trap. What do you think will happen this episode?
I have once again very little to work with in that the only thing they can say is that maybe like the pressure on Nene has her wanting to leave the group, which would break up the team, I guess. But it's really not a lot of information, is it?
Mm. Do you think anything will annoy you in this episode?
Um, I don't know. I guess the Water Tiger General has to be like his these kids, right? They're in such an absurd situation wherein like how do I put this? It's like life or death all the time, and they have to be
Mm-hmm.
united in purpose. And the idea that a Digimon could pretty much put anything up against them, other than, Nene, you have to kill your brother. Anything other than that that could break them up sounds dumb. Like don't think I'd believe it. You know?
Right. Do you think it'll be a good episode, though?
Um, um, Probably not. Because
So
it's just
no,
going to
no
be
faith.
annoying and frustrating. Because this is the thing about Digimon, right? Oh, is the team actually going to break up forever? No. That's not a legitimate threat.
They're the protagonists.
It would be like naming the title, Is Taiki Going to Die? Well, no, he's not.
So your predictions are not Taiki dies, then?
That is correct.
Okay. So what rating, then, if it's not a good episode?
3, I guess.
Okay, so at least it's better than the second episode.
Well, I don't know anything about the last one. That was guesses, so sure.
And filler or not filler?
Not, I guess. Because it's probably important for at least a brief period of time.
And that's it. So any other predictions?
I got nothing. Let's go.
Alright, on to the show. Episode 37 starts off where episode 36 left off, and Nene is on Sparamon and she's trying to find you. In the dub, we get...
She's trying to find me?
Oh no. That's why they changed it to Ewan, because yeah. Anyway, so in the dub, we get this sort of weird mixed-in recap where the events from the last episode are sort of cut in to shots of Nene flying around on Sparamon. And also, in the dub, we still get the name character tags. I guess it's because, from memory, the second season of Cross Wars aired in English, like, maybe a year or two after the first one, so they had to, like, learn
Introduce
people's
everyone.
names, I guess. I don't know.
Or they were like, no one watched it anyway.
But it's still, like, this is episode 9 of the second season. Why are we still giving them name tags? Yes, it's episode 37 of the overall season, but just weird.
Because no one remembered their names, obviously.
True. So they just go. The other part of Crossheart are walking around, and Starmon doesn't understand why they're not going to the next country because he just. I guess we needed a character to be a bit thick, so we say, hey, we can't just leave because the character we're looking for is you, and he's just around here somewhere.
How do they know he's around there?
Because in the last episode, Kiriha mentioned seeing a blonde, and in the dub
No,
he said, hey, I saw...
That doesn't mean you is around there. There could be any number of reasons for that.
Well, in the dub, Kiriha straight up said, hey, I saw you, or Ewan rather.
How would he know? He's never met him before.
Exactly, it's weird in the dub. In the original, it's just like, I saw a blonde kid, and Nene said, that could be you. So they're mainly looking for someone who might not even be actually you. But if you see a human in the digital world, it's probably the human you're looking for. I think that's why they're risking so much.
Probably. But it bothers me particularly that they're doing this in this way, and then when they finally do see him, Nene's like, "Huh, there he is."
Yeah, like she's
like really unenthused about it.
No, she's just calm, but I think that she could just be.
She's like, "Is that you? Huh, strange. Didn't expect to see him here." Seriously, that's her response.
So Taiki's hypothesizing that you could be under the control of somebody and remembers how Kiriha was under the control, so he might not be himself. Revolmon finds him, but it turns out to be, of course, a trap, and Yu holds the Monotomon and Revolmon in the vines. In the dub, Monotom mentions if he falls, he'll be almost a flat screen, and it's just, I don't know.
That's funny. A little bit.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, that's right, he's a TV.
But how does he know what a flat screen is?
I'm
like,
pretty sure.
What's their point of comparison? Because
no, that's an Atmon. Never mind. I was about to say, no, actually, there's a version of Monotomon. No, it's actually an Atmon that looks like Monotomon, but is a flat screen.
I remember it, Mediamon, right?
No, Mediamon was,
No, that was the thing it turns into.
Yeah. No, Musimon evolved into Mediamon. The
because
TV
he
one.
mixed with the TV one.
No, he mixed with the podcast one.
Oh.
Yeah, remember in the episode he's farting into the microphone?
I think of the movie one. Like, he definitely mixes with... that's something that they get later. They defeat it.
I don't remember having, like, any big app link with it, but I know that there is one. Because I remember... I've seen the app chip for it.
Fair enough. I thought he got these big TV powers. Alright, whatever. Atmon's good and it's better than this. God, that next episode sucks. Anyway.
Atmon's good than, like, better than any... Like, I want to say any Digimon.
I agree. Throw
like,
all of it under the bus.
Yeah, like, sure, Tamers was great, Savers was great. Atmon was really good. Watch Atmon.
Hashtag watch Atmon. We should have that as like a part of the closing credits of all our shows.
Yeah, just watch. Hey, if you think this episode was good, still bad compared to Atmon.
Every time. Although I don't think any of these episodes are really good necessarily. But oh my god, the next episode sucks.
Not like I like the Cutemon episode. No, the Lotmon episode.
What? I'm talking about the next episode.
I know. No, I'm just trying to remember the episodes that are good. Oh, I don't like Ruka. Anyway. So, in the dub, it's more obvious that Ewan is in full control because he's talking so much. In the original, he's quieter. Well, so you could think, he is under the control of Dark Knightmon or Tactimon or Bagramon or somebody.
Well, it's also a bit more subtle that, like, he thinks the whole thing is a game, and so they have to sort of pick it up. In English, he's like, haha, I think this is a game. Get it? This is my motivation. Which is, like, decent motivation. But at the same time, it's obvious he never had this competitive streak before. So it begs the question of why he's like this. That could have been part of his backstory, where he was, like, really competitive. And in the context, where he really thinks that it's all fake, then he would be this way. But as it stands, it's not amazingly impressive as a motivation. It's just functional, at best.
Bielsamon frees Monotomon and Revolmon, and then we see Darwinmon transforming. And he says that he's used Bodyguard. In the dub, and this is also said in the original, but I mainly want to point out what happens in the dub. So Shoutmon and Taiki ask why he helped, and for some reason Taiki seems to know about him showing up and helping Shoutmon, even though he only showed up to Shoutmon because Taiki wasn't meant to know.
Maybe Shoutmon told him about it in the meantime. There's like... There's no reason I can think of that Shoutmon wouldn't have told him about this, so I don't really think of that as an issue.
Okay. No, that's fair. Taiki tells Yu not to go with Suamon, and Yu says it'll be game over if Nene catches him. You escapes and Nene
No,
jumps
no,
over
wait,
a
wait,
huge
wait.
gap and almost dies.
You're totally missing something here.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah, we game over, whatever." But I really want to fight you, Taiki. Like, Yu's just seen his sister again, and all he cares about is fighting Taiki, and that's really weird.
Yeah, because I think you is seeing Taiki as this opponent, this
As
big
the other
sort
player.
of, yeah, as the other player that he needs to fight. Like, because this is a game for him. He wants to win the game. He wants to be the best at the game, and he sees someone who's really strong, and he says, "I want to beat him because I'm the best at the game, and that's what I'm going to do." Nene, and I guess he should also be saying that to Kiriha because Kiriha is also arguably strong, but we haven't really seen Nene do much in terms of battling.
Well, I mean, it's not the battling, although she does do it. She fought in the Movamon episode. She fights in this one, but it's that like she's his sister, so he might not want to play with her in the first place.
Yeah, there's also that. But they
You're an only
seem
child,
to
you wouldn't
have,
get it.
yeah, but they seem to have an okay relationship in the flashback.
Yeah, like a really good relationship actually. So it's weird that he's like this, but there's more going on than just he thinks it's a game.
Yeah. Anyway, so then Kiriha says that Taiki noticed it too, and then he's cut off by them having to go. The weird thing is that instead of this sort of Kiriha noticing that Taiki noticed the same thing, which is Yu is completely acting on his own, like he's not under the control of anybody. In the dub, Christopher says that Ewan is too far gone and he's now one of them. And I'm really mad that they'd made this change.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, they sort of mean similar things. If you really, I mean,
Yeah, they do mean similar things, but it makes him seem like less. Oh, what's the word?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Like, I know he noticed that he's
It's less
man,
significant.
No, not significant. It's like man, I'm really. It's
He has
a
less
really obvious
agency?
word. No, it's to do with Kiriha being observant. That's the word.
Oh, yeah.
Not a hard word.
Okay.
It shows that Kiriha and Taiki are both being observant, and Kiriha's noticing that Taiki also notices it, and that's he's saying, "Oh, you noticed it too." And in the dub, there's no reference to Mikey also noticing it, and it's just I know I really like this line in the original because Kiriha just turns to Taiki and says, "You noticed it too," because they're being observant. In the dub, it's just
I
like,
think
"Oh,
it's a
you
really
and Stefan gone."
Japanese thing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've probably seen it in another anime as well. I don't know, for
So
some
my
reason...
Japanese animes.
Yeah, in my animes, my animations, my Japanimations.
Yeah, Japanimation. I love that stuff.
Meanwhile, Bagramon is giving LiLithmon a task to hold a country. In the dub, it is much more obvious that she's being demoted. In the original, like, you can say, hey, she's actually getting a promotion and she's actually becoming this general, and Bagramon is giving the power to LiLithmon because he said he would, like, last season. But in the dub, it's just like, it's pretty obvious
He's
that
like,
she's
here's
being
your new
demoted.
assignment. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it seems like she's being demoted rather than the original where it's
And
almost
she's just
hopeful.
too dumb to realize.
Yeah. So in one, it's just like, Lilithmon is, she's just thinking, oh, I've been promoted, and the viewer is also thinking, oh, she's been promoted. In the dub, it makes Laylamon seem dumb and smug, the way she's like, I'm better than everyone now, I've been promoted, and she...
But she is, though. That's
Yeah,
the
but
character. To be fair, that's accurate.
Yeah, it is worse than the dub. So she finds out, she now reports to Dark Knightmon, she was demoted. Then Yu is excited because he's found a special item, because he thinks it's a game, he calls things special items. In the dub, there's no reference to games or special items, which is weird. And Yu is talking about how excited he is that he gets to beat Mikey. And in the original, he's just happy that he's found a special item.
What's his deal with Mikey? Like, I'm interested to know what sort of imparted him on this path of, oh, Mikey's the guy I gotta beat. Because again...
We've seen that the Death Generals have, like, this whole thing of, like, oh, the Red Crossloader. Like, they always talk about the Red Crossloader. Because he's the protagonist.
Yeah, but I need slightly more than just he's the protagonist, you know?
Are you going to get more than, oh, he's the protagonist from Digimon? Because that's the most, like, oh, he's the protagonist thing ever.
Oh, you're right. Damn it.
Like, I love Digimon, but...
I hate when you're right, because that means I'm not.
Yeah, but, like, that's the problem with Digimon, that I find that a lot of the times...
That's the
Yeah, it's just like, hey, there's a protagonist, and that's what they are. They're the protagonist, and everyone only cares about them because, hey, they're the protagonist.
Did you mean Frontier?
Oh yeah, that's the worst one. Whenever I think of like the protagonist and then the second in command protagonist, that's the one I think of because no one get anything else. Like in the second half of the show, even the character who was the plot is demoted to
once his
sitting
stuff
on
was
the
resolved,
fence.
it didn't matter.
Yeah, like once he wasn't relevant. Like everyone had that. They had their one episode where they were relevant and important. Izumi had that episode where she was the only one who could evolve and then save the day because Randomon had a tantrum and spun away. That was it. And was pissed off because Zephyrmon was attractive. But then, she was the only one who could evolve, but that was her episode, so it's not relevant anymore. I don't know. I don't like Frontier.
No,
I'll still
no
watch
one
it again.
does.
But
What? Why?
Because, I still like Digimon.
Yeah, but why would you watch that again? There's all this other Digimon stuff.
I'd rather watch Atmon again in English when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm never saying this, but, if it comes out in English...
Interesting thing.
Yeah?
Brian Beacock has all the characters he's listed, but instead of the Agumon that he actually voiced,
yeah,
he has the picture of Agumon from Atmon.
Okay.
On his profile.
All right then.
So that's interesting.
He's like, this is one of the best animated. I don't know what to tell you.
I like to believe that he's accidentally mentioned that he's voicing Agumon in Atmon. I would like that.
I know. You have a history of wanting to believe.
But I just want him to talk into Kato's voice when he does it.
But why? Wouldn't that be weird and off-putting?
I don't know. Look, we've had characters speak with other characters' voices before.
You can't just say, I don't know why I want what I want, and use it as a justification. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, I like Digimon. They're the champions.
Sigh. Big sigh.
Big sigh. Anyway, so then a Digimon shows up, which, by the way, is Dark Taomon, which is Dolmon. And it's basically just Taomon, but blue, or purple and black. Evil.
Yeah, no, it's just the evolution of Renamon. It's really weird that it's here.
Yeah, but it's the dark version, so at least there's that.
It really doesn't look that much different.
And then Taomon, or Daomon rather, starts a mist, which gives an illusion to Nene that shows she's in the human world, and Sparrowmon can't find her. And what I noticed from this scene, and I guess this episode in general, is... wow, did they up the budget for this episode? Because this is really well animated.
No, only this part of the episode. I specifically noticed this, that the animation's all different here. I actually think it looks a lot... It's in the style of, a lot of, hentai at the time. But whatever, let's put that aside. Maybe a lot of anime was like this, but that struck me as particularly... Because it's all women in the shot, and they're all really shiny. So I'm like, where's this going? And then the tentacles come out. And you're like, oh, where's this going? Who did they hire?
No.
Who did they hire? Who's the different animator in this episode?
I do find that whenever they have Nene on the screen, especially alone, they make her very shiny.
But think about it this way, right? The moment that they're out of this illusion zone again, and you see everyone, the animation quality dips right back. Right back.
Well, you're not wrong, no.
I love not being wrong. It's my favorite.
I like this. I really like this part. I know that it's kind of creepy. I guess it's meant to be. But I don't know, I really like this sort of illusion, because it seems very NQR. Anyway, so Yu says it's the town where they grew up in. And what I noticed in the dub is that while in the original, Nene is very let's go home now, Yu, let's go home. In the dub, she seems to not trust Ewan. In the original, she seems almost not wanting to believe that he's evil, so she's trusting him too much, overcompensating for how sus it is.
Yeah.
And then in the dub, she just seems to not trust him. It's very hey, what you doing? What you doing there, fella?
Why you been so evil?
You're being a bit weird. You're gonna be evil. You're the Ken Koichi of the season.
You doing the Stewie thing?
I think I might be. You're writing a little novel. Anyway, so then Nene has another flashback, and then so Nene has a flashback, and it's when you and her are catching butterflies, and they crush one's wings, so they bury him because he dies.
It's kind
and
of
you
sad.
mentions that he
Mostly
hates
that
dying.
Kids think that.
Yeah.
It hits the concept of death.
Yeah, and
this is the drill that will pierce the heavens. Anyway.
So what I noticed is that this must be a Japanese anime thing, because I've seen it in a lot of anime.
Just like my Japanese animes.
Where they accidentally kill an animal, or the family pet dies, and they bury it themselves and put the little, homemade sign on it, which, by the way, the Japanese on it is, wiped out in the English version. There's no writing on the stick at all, it's just a paddle pop stick without text. It's weird, but not as bad as the one in Savers, where they just wrote squiggly lines. That was horrible.
That was great. You leave that alone, on the computer screen. I love that.
But most recently, this reminds me of, I'm not sure if you've seen it or not. It's a Netflix original, but it's based off a manga. It's called Arjun.
Nope.
And there's a scene where they're doing the same thing, and it just reminded me of Arjun a lot. But I think about Arjun a lot. It's a really good anime. Watch Arjun. It's on Netflix. Watch Netflix before they introduce ads, which is what they're doing now.
Are you serious?
It is. It's ads between... Okay, so you know Anime Lab, right? When you're not paying for it, you watch the episode, and when you're between waiting for the next episode, you'll get ads of other things on Anime Lab.
I'm aware of it.
You know how that's something you don't pay for when they give you that? And if you pay for it, there's no ads?
Correct.
Yeah, Netflix will now show ads for their shows in between episodes.
This is garbage. This is garbage and I hate it.
Yep. So I'm not sure if it's going to be full screen or just at the corner, like when the... I hope it's during the credits. Like, you know how you can skip to the next episode at the end of every episode?
Yeah.
And it'll open up during the credits, but it'll just be a tiny thing? Maybe they'll do that.
Maybe.
I haven't looked much into it, to be honest, but all I know is that they're going to start doing that. And it's sort of how cable TV also went down that path. Originally, cable TV did not, at least in Australia, did not have ads. And then it started having ads. So
it's garbage, and now I'm really upset. You can hear it in my voice.
Yeah, so that's annoying that there's a thing that we're paying for. But at least they're not giving you ads for other things. They're giving for ads for their own product.
You know what? That's better. I always prefer being at when I'm at the movies, seeing ad for other movies.
Yeah, and I've listened to a few podcasts when they're talking about it, and they actually say it's like when you're watching an ad before a movie when you go to see a movie.
Okay. So
but
it's
anyway,
kind of acceptable.
Good. Yeah. So it's more acceptable, but it's still like... I hope
prefer
it's not
happen.
But it just reminds me of Anime Lab, which has the ads in between the things when you don't pay for it, but if you pay for it, they don't give you the ads.
Yeah.
I know, it's weird. But it won't disrupt things. It'll just be in between episodes, but that's just my understanding of it.
Okay, if you can skip them, then it's fine. Then it's actually good.
I don't know if it's skippable or not.
Okay, well, if it's not skippable, then it's garbage. But if you can skip them, then it's good, because then obviously it's giving you access to their own content. And I'm like, okay, I'll take recommendations if I can skip them.
Yeah, I'll take recommendations like, hey, you liked this, maybe you'll like this. And that's actually how I've seen quite a few things on Netflix, because they've said, and this is a real recommendation, and no, I did not watch it, because I already watched it like 10 years ago, but said, we see that you liked Skins. You know, the show about the teenagers bonking each other's brains out. We think that you'd like Winx Club. I'm not joking. I should have taken I think my phone was flat at the time because I was watching it on TV, but it was just the funniest recommendation because those two shows are like the least alike.
Same.
No,
I mean, slightly different.
Slightly different. Very different. Anyway, so Nene has another flashback. And there's some boys playing and being violent. They're just, playing as boys do. And Nene asks if Yu's going to join in. And Yu doesn't want to. In the dub, Ewan says, nah, I'm too dangerous.
What?
So, yeah, and that's
totally missed that.
And it's just, it's really weird because, yeah, he's joking around. But in the original, he seems like a much quieter, reserved kid.
Yeah, it's meant to be a contrast to how he ends up in the digital world.
Yeah, and in the dub, he's like sort of just like quote-unquote normal, fun-loving, joking kid. He just doesn't like violence.
He's a bit edgy.
Yeah, he's a bit edgy. He's the Ken/Koichi. His Ken version 3. Kenichi. Ewan. Ko-Ewan.
Kanuan? Kanuwu?
OCD not steal. Anyway. Woo, what's this?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so... Then we find out that Nene and Yu got sucked into the digital world, and Yu grabs the Darkness Loader. The Darkness Loader speaks in the dub, and
Of course.
And when Yu turns around to smile in the dub, Ewan has like this maniacal laugh, and it's very creepy. So this is weird because of the potential character change we're being given from the dub to the original. Is that in the original, this smile is so out of character for him. In the dub, he just says, nah, too dangerous. Even if he's joking, it shows that he's got some, like, he's not a reserved, quiet little kid. He's got some, what's a good word? He's got some, like, I want to say personality, but that's not it, because he does have a personality, but he's got, like, another side to him. He's got a bit more to him. And it's just, that smile is terrifying, by the way.
I guess his one-dimensionality is a defining trait in the Japanese, so that it's really obvious that he's different. That said, he's very one-dimensional once he's in the digital world as well. Just a different one.
Yeah. But it's a sort of... If he's this quiet, sort of simple character in the original, it is a lot like once the evil was taken out of them, how we had Ken and Koichi, who were also quiet and polite after they had the evil taken out of them. Remember how Ken all of a sudden became this really quiet and polite guy as soon as the Dark Seed was, like, not a problem? In Digimon Strikes Back, he's, like, this polite, nice kid.
That sounds familiar.
And completely different from the Kaiser, who was the
Jerk.
Kaiser.
Big
and
jerk.
Then we have
jerk.
Yeah, we have Dark Ocean Jerk. We have Koichi, who in Frontier... was, when he was Duskmon, tried to stab his brother in the face and was just mental and talked a lot. And then as soon as he had the evil taken out of him, he also was this polite, quiet kid, like reserved, and both Ken and Koichi reserved. In the original of Cross Wars, Yu is reserved, Yu is quiet, Yu is polite in these flashbacks. Much alike in the way that we have Ken and Koichi being quiet in before and after the evilness.
It's almost like that's some kind of Japanese ideal.
Yeah, so they're basically like, this is what a Japanese ideal is meant to be. This polite, smart kid who's just like, normal kid, doesn't act out, doesn't want to fight.
He can watch 20 games of chess at once.
Yeah, he's just this kid. And then we have this evilness that's completely different. Yu is...
evilness.
I don't know, but it's just something that I noticed that was weird in the dub, where they made Yu seem...
They made me seem what?
Not reserved. Oh, Ewan seem not reserved. Anyway.
So worth it every time.
Tells Taiki that it seems that Nene is in some sort of magic cave. Then we get
now start
Mervamon
laughing.
Bursting out of Nene's crossloader, which is great. Magic cave.
There we go. It's weird in the English because, Nene goes, "You were here the whole time?" As though, like, do you not expect to have Digimon in your crossloader?
Yeah.
It's just that she didn't have to tell her to come out. That's the only thing that's weird about this.
Yeah, it's not surprising that she came out. It's great, though. She's like, I was in your crossloader because I was worried about you. I love it. I love Mervamon.
Wasn't she in there because... Like, how could she sneak into the crossloader without you noticing?
It's her home. Like, it's like me... If like, you were standing outside my apartment and I walked out and you said, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I was in my home because I was worried about you." Like, just like...
No, you'd be like, "I live here. What are you doing here?"
Yeah, I live here, dude. And it's just... It is weird that you are meant to be surprised that Mervamon's there, but you know what? It's great. Because we didn't actually see her outside the crossloader before, so I just assume if I can't see the Digimon, they're in the crossloader. I actually forgot that her other Digimon weren't in the crossloader because they were on the search party, but we never saw Mervamon anyway, so I don't know. Then, meanwhile, Metal Greymon bursts through because he's Metal Greymon, and Taiki asks why Kiraha's so ruthless when it comes to Nene. It's cute, because Kiraha's like, "Oh, I'm nice, not nice, I'm a cool person." And he just does nice things, that's really nice. Anyway.
You can't stop me from being edgy. This is my life now.
What I actually, and I'm just brief pause, but what I like about Cross Wars is no one is shipped with Nene. Like, the show doesn't try to put them together, and Kiraha being ruthless when it comes to her, he's not making fun of him, like, having a crush on her or anything, because it makes sense. They were fighting together as the rebels for months, remember? When Taiki was off in the real world for half a day, they were fighting together, and so they're probably really close friends.
I don't know, I got the sense that they were, like, distant and didn't see each other during that time.
Yeah, but they're still working on the same side. It's just...
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they would be, like... The fact that they didn't see each other makes more sense that they wouldn't be into each other.
Anyway, so Taiki and Kiraha said that they realised that Yu was in full control early on. Then Dark Knightmon shows up and gives you game pieces, which means Blastmon, Lilithmon, and Vilemon. And Lilithmon gets a Vilemon bikini, which, by the way, is completely edited out in the dub, so the Vilemon just go nowhere.
Well, it'd be really weird. Like, how do you explain that to kids? Alright, so you know those monsters that are gross that you hate? Yeah, they're in her bathing suit area now. And the kids are like, yay!
But it's weird because...
The whole thing is weird.
No, but in the dub, because she's still acting all weird about her appearance, but her appearance doesn't change in the dub because they edit out the only part that's different to her outfit.
Well, at least they didn't take away the fact that she has breasts entirely.
Oh, they did.
Like Paul Rosemon? Not again.
Yeah, also the Dats girls in Savers.
I just assumed because I can't remember the animation.
No, they've basically reduced Lilithmon's breasts. Same with Mervamon, but they sort of just draw a line over the cleavage, but they still sort of decrease them. It's still a thing.
Decleave them.
So this scene goes by very quickly because it's the only fighting in the episode. So Domon makes them blind. Taiki asks Wisemon what's going on. Mervamon tells Nene to knock them down and says that that's exactly what she said to him and said to her about her brother. And this likeness that they have towards each other because of the fact that both their brothers were on the side of evil and now they have to fight for them. It's really great. I love it. I love their friendship. So Nene digicrosses Mervamon with high vision Monitormon and Wisemon and gives her special vision so she can see.
It's a bit annoying that it's like not her
Yep.
idea.
Pardon?
It's not her idea. It's Wisemon being like, no, do exactly this. And she's like, okay. Seems reasonable.
Oh yeah, no, good point. So Taiki and Kirihara evolve their Digimon, and then you and Dark Knightmon leave, and Dark Knightmon says that he just came there to rescue you. Blatant lie, by the way, because he also gave you the game pieces, remember, and then told him to digicross them so he could fight. So kind of like a lie. In the dub, it's fixed. They say, I only came here to give you battle experience. Because that makes more sense. Why else wouldn't he just take him straight away instead of giving him the game pieces? I don't know. At the end of the episode, Mervamon permanently joins Nene. In the dub, she says that together they will make Yuan join as well. And then we get the Digimon data collection, which is Talmon, which is the non-evil Dolmon, remember, from Digimon Tamers? In the dub, if they get confused, they call her Dalmon, as in the evil Talmon, even though Talmon is the one on the screen. It's weird.
So here's my thing, right? What the reason that's given for Dark Knightmon showing up is if you're not the Death General of the kingdom, you can't enter or exit. Is that correct?
Yeah, but he just burst through.
So yeah, he just did it. So obviously it's a lie, and also the good guys always do that. So it's a lie. So in what way is it a rule that that's the case?
It's only
everyone can travel all the time.
Nah, it's only a rule if you don't physically burst through the zone with your feet and your hands.
But like, how come you can enter a zone that you don't rule from a different zone that you do?
Because you beat up the barrier.
But you don't. We've never seen the kids do that ever.
Yeah, because they don't want to, but Dark Knightmon is evil. He just breaks through.
Yeah, but how did they get into this one?
Who?
How did the kids get into this zone, the Honeyland zone? They didn't break through.
Wait, no, you can't travel out of a zone until you beat it, I think.
Aha. Unless you are strong enough to punch the wall.
I think you have to defeat one zone and then you can travel onto the next zone. That's the logic that the show has given you, except for Dark Knightmon.
I hate the fact that there is a next zone, right? There is a line in the next episode. I'm going to get to the final kingdom and find Yuan. Okay, what's the last kingdom?
The darkness one, I don't know.
No. If I was going to say, like, what's the last American state? There's no order. They're just places in geography.
I think there is an order, and you have to beat through all of them to get to the last one.
Who made that order? Is that order geographical? Like, are you teleporting to random places, or do you know where you're going to teleport every time?
Probably the bad guys. I don't know. The bad guys are in control of the whole everything, so they can choose it, I guess. I don't know.
I know. You see how you're guessing? Mm-hmm. You see how you're doing that? Like, we don't know. That's the issue. That's why I'm asking you questions.
I don't know, then.
You're allowed to say it's badly written and not defend it. You're allowed.
No, it is, but it's like...
Thank you. That's all I need.
It's not as bad as Frontier.
You know what? No one's arguing that it's worse than Frontier. No one is doing that. Not a single person on the entire internet has ever argued that Frontier was better than Cross Wars.
Actually, everyone does.
Literally no one.
Okay. I guess I'll believe that then.
Good.
What do you think of this episode as someone who was new to Digimon?
So, when it started, I thought it had, like, a clever idea of, Yuan's gonna, like, pretend to, like, be escaping to them, and then maybe basically do what Ruka is in the next episode, which is be kind of, like, an untrustworthy individual. And then, like, it just didn't do anything with it. He just stands up, betrays and Monotomon immediately, shows himself, and then there's no emotional reaction on Nene's part at all, pretty much, other than, there he is. Oh no, guess he's gone. Oh well, guess I'll get him. She doesn't seem to have very much, like, anima to her at all, just sort of going with it, and it's not great, you know? It's really, really mediocre, but that's it. It felt like a bit of a waste of time, all up. All this episode accomplished was showing you that you exists, and we already knew that.
Yeah, I liked this episode. What rating did you give it?
Like a 5.
I gave it an 8.
I'm not shocked by that.
I really liked the whole, like, you not being evil, like Koichi and Ken. He's just kind of thinking that it's a game.
Yeah, but his personality changed a bit too much, to the extent where I think it's too simple that, like, if you ever just talk to him and be like, this is real, he'd be like, oh no!
But he's possibly, that means because of the personality changes, what if he was always like this? This is the true you. He's actually this
evil... The true me?
No, stop. Stop. Anyway, I liked this episode. It wasn't as good as the Lotmon one, but it's still a pretty good episode, and I like what it's leading into with Yuan being actually evil, like as a person. We haven't had an actual evil human in the anime. We've had it in the manga, that's fine. We've not had it in the anime. It's always been like, oh, but under mind control. And this episode
is. I know he's saying, oh, this. I'm convinced it's a game, but there's more to it than that. Because he would never trust Dark Knightmon over his sister.
Yeah, but what if he's just an evil person?
I don't think he is.
I know, but that's what's exciting about this episode. And sure, if
so
it
I just
doesn't
don't believe it, I guess.
If it doesn't end up like that, sure, I'll say that episode will be bad. But this leads interesting questions like, is this guy just evil without being brainwashed? And we learn he's not brainwashed. He's in control of himself. He is actually just an evil person.
I mean, that's what the Digimon Emperor would have said. Digimon Emperor would never have said he's under control of anybody.
No, but the other characters made the point that he is not under control of anyone because we know what it's like when someone's under the control of Dark Knightmon or what have you, because we saw...
What? No, they were just being pressured. That's totally different. The only thing that they've established is that he's not being, like... I mean, he is being tricked, I guess. He's not being threatened. That's the only thing we've established.
Yeah, no, I know, I get what you mean, but what I'm saying is that it has an exciting premise of this guy is actually just evil without being under control of anyone, and I dig that.
I guess.
Because there are just not nice people in the world. How did it compare to your predictions in Obnoxious Synopsis?
So, I don't know where I put them. Apparently I put them here. I thought they would find out the whole thing with you at the end, which meant, like, there's no way I was going to guess that he would just show himself to them. He went out of his way to be seen. He didn't have to lie in the middle of nowhere. He could have just gone somewhere hidden and then, like, Dark Knight could have come picked him up. So it implies that he, like, intentionally got found out, and then he ran away. I don't know why. So I couldn't have guessed that, and it was bad. Maybe this episode gets a 4, because I didn't really think how little that made sense.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, it might be.
What was the major difference between the Japanese and English version?
I guess the change of animation for Lilithmon, because it's really significant.
Yeah.
I love her mace, which has Blastmon's head.
Yeah.
Like flail,
I love that. I love Blastmon. I love that he's just like... Because he said, hey, this will take hundreds of years to rebuild.
And now he's just ahead. And they swing him around, and he gets blocked by a claw. He's like, that really hurts. He hates it.
Yeah, and so my difference wasn't that. My difference was, as I mentioned before, Yu's change in personality.
Yeah, to an extent. Like, it's not... It's obviously very significant, but at the end of the day, I think because he changes into pretty much the same person... That storytelling was never a big deal in the first place. I don't know. I guess it doesn't feel like it was anyway, because they didn't do a good job of telling it.
Yeah.
You know how I am with these things.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So we'll be covering episode 38 and 39 as one episode because they're in the same zone. So episode 38 starts up with the team showing up at Cyber City, which, and the characters mention this, is very empty. Then we see a flying Wamon, which is amazing, and it turns out he's a robot airship that beams down Andromon. So we get a lot of Digicrosses to beat all of the Andromon, and Taiki says they're not disappearing because they're all like empty puppets. And then Wamon starts to make more, and then they realise, hey, we shouldn't waste our energy, let's just go up there, destroy the receiver that's making the Andromon, and then they find out that Wamon's empty too.
So here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
The only other time we've ever seen inside Waymon, he has a control room inside him, so it wasn't immediately evident that he was a robot. Like, traditionally, This is what Waymon are inside. I guess they're not quite as metal, but we know there's a big space inside them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, but this one especially is even a little bit more empty because it doesn't have a personality.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you're going to get much from me this episode. I hate it a lot, so if you want to hear me complaining a lot, you're going to get it.
Oh no. Well, I didn't take that many notes because not a lot happens. Anyway, so they run off and they see a girl called Ruka, who has changed to Luca in the dub.
Which makes sense.
And this is the funniest part of the episode. Kiraha yells at her, "Who are you?" That's my favourite part of the episode, because he's just yelling for no reason. He's just like, I'm the angry character.
What? That's a perfectly reasonable thing to yell. They literally say before that they think that the Death General's going to be up in that Waymon. Then they get up there and they see this little girl. Why wouldn't he be a bit shocked to see her? It's so reasonable. It's unnecessarily reasonable.
Well, Kiraha's actually really reasonable in the entire episode, like, let's be real, right?
I think he's the most sympathetic character by like a mile, because he doesn't trust this person, and I can't imagine any situation in the digital world, after they've lived through what they have, that they would trust somebody in this circumstance. They just found her piloting the ship. There's no way she could justify that she was there, like, that she was there by accident, you know? What was the reason she gave? She was, like, running away or something?
Yeah, she was saying, I was escaping. But
yeah. on the Waymon ship, crawling out. She's crawling away from the control room.
Looking evil.
She doesn't look evil, to be fair, but it is intensely obvious from the beginning that she's evil, and
Yeah.
from that moment onward, it is just embarrassing that they all behave the way they do. And yeah, eventually people start to figure it out. But the whole thing is such a big waste of time. And then, okay, I'll give the episode one thing. It becomes incredibly obvious when they start doing like the repeating like dripping jokes with the buffet table.
Yeah.
That, oh, this whole episode's actually just a dumb gag and none of it's meant to be taken seriously. But the problem is that like it reverses itself and then takes itself seriously all over again. So it's all a big waste of time.
I'm not sure if it's in Digimon, but this joke feels very familiar of something else.
This is a very anime joke of the villain who has lots of stupid plans. And so one fails and he pulls another dumb plan.
Then I'll put him in the box, and then I'll mail the box to myself, and then I'll step on it.
What?
I don't know, for some reason it just reminded me
that?
of Emperor's New Groove for some reason just then.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit like that, but I'm thinking
it's
more
the enemy plan backfiring montage. And yeah, no, it is the Emperor's New Groove, because it's just like she's going through little bottles, and it's like, oh, I'll make him into a rat, and I'll put him in a box, I'll mail the box to myself, and then I'll step on it.
I'll mail the box to myself.
And I feel like he doesn't drink the poisons, or he drops the poisons or something. I don't know, there's a reason why she keeps on going through different poisons. But it just reminds me of that, and I don't know, I feel like there's something else as well, but that's the main one that I can think of. Also, any plan that Team Rocket's ever come up with.
Yeah, but that takes 20 minutes to fail, not 3 seconds.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ruka says that Taiki looks friendly, and then asks if he's stupid, because Dorulumon mentions him being kind-hearted. In the dub, instead of Luca saying, "Are you stupid?" she says, "Oh, I like annoying," because Dorulumon says that Taiki's kind-hearted nature makes him annoying. And Luca's, "Oh, I like annoying." It just makes it seem like also Luca is meant to be in love with him, or is acting that way.
Pandering to him in like a really obvious way.
Yeah, which is super sus.
The whole thing is so sus. Like, the fact she instantly starts like bawling, crying.
Yeah.
The only thing that she says to defend herself is, "How dare you, I'm sad now."
Yeah, basically. And Dorulumon says that something happened and he sensed a Digimon before, but now he's really suspicious. Ruka overhears this and starts crying.
That?
Pardon?
He just thinks that, doesn't he?
No, he mentions it.
Okay.
And that's why she starts crying. And Taiki tells him to say sorry. And Shoutmon and Nene also want him to apologize. And then she starts playing with Dorulumon's face and forgives him immediately, which is sus in itself. But also, Daisuke did the same thing in the Digimon movie, when they say, "That's the saddest story I ever heard." Well, man, get over it. Okay. Which is my favourite scene.
I don't remember that at all. What was that from?
It's in the Digimon movie, when Willis is saying, "Oh, I had 2 Digimon, but one of them became corrupted," and Davis starts crying, and then he says, "Hey, dude, get over it." And Davis is like, "Okay." Because he's stupid. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. The movie's bad.
Aww.
What? Why are you sad? The movie is bad.
The Digimon movie is good.
Is it?
Digimon movie part 3 is bad.
Yeah, but that's all one movie.
I'm talking about
the one with Willis in it is the bad one.
Yeah. So somebody's watching, and then Shoutmon is hungry, and Ruka says that she'll show them where the food is. So she takes them to a food storage place. It's got a bunch of traps on it, and it's really, like, obvious that she's either thick or evil.
This is the bit they have to forgive because it's a comedy episode, because otherwise it's so full of complete nonsense.
Oh yeah, this episode is it's a comedy episode.
Like, I was so angry, I'm like, okay, why would someone design a trap so that it doesn't hit the person trying to press the buttons, it only hits the person in front of the door? Alternatively, why would someone design a trap to keep people out where it just opens the door?
You know, this is just a better version of the Atmon episode of Gatchmon Runs Away. Because Gatchmon's salty of the new character, and in this episode, Dorulumon is
totally different.
Actively suspicious of a character who is actively suspicious.
This is cringe comedy. It's a different issue entirely. Also, how come the kids wouldn't, once they've been trapped like 4 times, why wouldn't they stand back from the door the next time she tries a button?
No, that's true.
So, like, I get, because it's comedy, I can let that go, but I don't like cringe comedy, so I still hated it, you know?
Right.
So I don't like British comedy most of the time. It's all cringe, because that country is, like, their culture is so weird that all they can do is be embarrassed about everything. That is the primary
British comedy.
That's the primary export of Britain, is embarrassment. Prove me wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Anyway, so they eventually go in and they see lots of food, and it's basically
It's a buffet! What is that doing there?
Like, food storage in my head is, fridges.
You think
right?
so? Yeah?
So, in the dub, she says it's recreated birthday party food. In the original, she just says it's food. Because it is. It's food.
But, like, it makes more sense, I guess, that it's, like, a production thing. It's a weird digital world thing, because, like, why would there be a buffet out here? What's that doing here? Please explain. If this is Kansas, why is this not Arkansas? America, explain. That's my favorite. That's my favorite Vine ever, by the way.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen that Vine in a Vine. I love watching Vine compilations.
My favorite is
Vine. The one where the man throws the other man the phone when they're on this ride in the air. It's like a suspended ride, and he throws his phone, and the phone just drops, and his reaction is just going, ah!
I don't know that
really
one.
sad.
You're gonna have to find it and send it to me.
Oh, it's in one of the thousands of Vine compilations. I don't think I can find it.
Well, you're gonna have to.
No. Oh, the one guy being Rafiki in the tree going, Igadiana, squash banana. That one's good.
Classic.
I love Vines. Like, alright, rest in peace, I guess.
Rip.
Or the Digi-Destiny dog of Australia, which is my dog. We made Vines.
The Digi-Destiny dingo of Australia. Mm-hmm. What a terrible movie.
That wasn't a movie, that was an episode.
What a terrible set of episodes.
Anywai, Ruka gives Taiki some special juice, but it turns out it's got a special creature called a Drippin in it, and it causes distrust. And
what's it?
It's by the way, it's called a Drippin in the original and a water spirit in the dub.
No, they had a different name.
Drippin.
No,
it was Drippin in the subtitles, I mean.
They called splashes.
I thought that in the dub they were water spirits.
Yeah, he called them both water spirits and splashers. These are things called splashes.
That's because I feel like they gave up. Like, they went, oh, water spirits. Oh, we should probably give them a name that's like Drippin, but not Drippin. Why didn't they just keep Drippin, by the way?
Because Drippin doesn't make... Like, it probably sounds really cool in Japanese, and it does sound very dumb in English.
Everything sounds dumb in English.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So this episode, by the way, remembers that the Cutemon exists. So I almost called Coolamon for some reason. But yeah, I feel like
there's no inspiration there.
I feel like the show only remembers Cutemon exists like every third episode.
And they're like, oh right, Dorulamon has like a relationship with this character. We forgot.
And I feel like so far it's been relevant in this episode and the Lotmon episode.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
anyway, so Dorulamon breaks the glass and says, says that his body moved on its own. Then Ruka finds some lotion, but it's also a Drippin that makes everybody in love with themselves, which is the most important part of the episode because Cutemon has muscles.
It's really buff Cutemon.
Yeah. And Dorulemon's like, I'm not going to fight anymore. I don't want to hurt these muscles. And in the dub, it's just like, I don't want to scar my beautiful face. I don't know. I love the fact that Cutemon's more muscular, though. Anyway, so Dorulemon also destroys this and says it was reflex. And then Ruka offers him dog food and he says that he's not a dog. And then he demands Ruka to confess. And everybody's really mad. And once again, she immediately forgives him.
She starts crying like crazy.
Yeah. And then Ruka says that Dorulemon would be a death general if he would rejoin them, and that's what she's overheard. And
it's the most suspicious stuff in the world. Like, oh yeah, if you just join, I hear you'll be a death general. But just consider it. I mean, it's what I heard.
Yeah. And Ruka runs off and says that she shouldn't be. And then Dorulemon runs after her and says, "Look, you shouldn't be seen. I have to protect you because he's a good character." And then Dorulemon sees Cutemon, who throws something at him that paralyzes him. And then we have Ruka running into Crossheart, and she says that Andromon are attacking Dorulemon and he needs help. When they run off, Nene says she can't find Ruka anymore. And then, meanwhile, Dorulemon wakes up and Ruka's talking to him. And then we see that there's a Digimon that's pretending to be Cutemon. It's actually a Digimon called Splashmon, who looks like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or what I know from it.
Yeah, you know what? It really does look like a stand from JoJo. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, because it's got the outfit.
It's got the outfit. It's got that sort of bishy sort of face and style and the big hair. And if he was standing behind like a regular person going, oh, no, you'd be like, yeah, okay, that sounds about right. In fact, there is a stand that is pretty much exactly this, just without the face. Like it's a water one, and I think it's got a similar sort of design, which tells me there might be like a cultural element to it.
Maybe. I don't know. It reminds me of the limited amount of knowledge I have about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
You got to use it where you can.
Yeah, basically. That's what anime's taught me. Anyway, so Ruka was just a Drippin in a doll body, and Dorulemon says that the Drippin must be of controlling all the Digimon.
Sorry, it's a Drippin.
Then we have a bit that is cut out of the English dub, and is when Mervamon has an attack called Sexy Dynamite. And
I knew it! I knew that would get cut!
She hits the Digimon she's fighting with her bum, and then I realised, oh no, is this a reference to Digimon Frontier?
Where?
Remember how...
butt attacks.
Okay, Fairymon, Izumi's evolution, hits things with her bum.
Yep.
Then there's a scene that's cut in the dub where Izumi is like posing with all the bathers, and behind her it just says "Sexy Dynamite."
You know what? I think this might just be a Japanese cultural thing.
Yeah, that's what Mark from With the Will said. He was just like, I'm pretty sure this is just a Japanese cultural thing, but it's really funny that she hits the bum and then "Sexy Dynamite." It's funny.
It strikes me that we complain about this butt attack thing, but I want it noted that our favorite wrestler Asuka does that in matches.
Yeah, but Asuka is amazing, and I love her.
It's just called a hip attack, and it's like a Japanese thing.
To be fair, I would be so on board if one day we just have Asuka dressed as Mervamon. So Splashmon holds Drillamon down and wants to show him his friend's hurting because he's feeding on the negative energy because he's a death general and that's what they're all doing.
So I was trying to figure out like why he's going about doing this, right? Because if he had him knocked out, wouldn't he just kill him? And I guess the position must be, you know, I already killed everyone in this zone already, and so I can't make any more negative energy, so I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, we can argue that that's why they haven't killed many of the Digimon. They're just getting the negative energy.
Now, I guess the follow-up question.
The only actual death general to kill anyone was Neo Vamdemon, and that's because he needed the Lotmon to regenerate.
Yeah, they didn't even kill them. He just sort of like he put them inside his body.
He ate them.
Yeah, they killed themselves actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, now you have to think about that one.
No.
So, God, I was going to say something. I've lost it now. That's why I got to say it immediately. Oh, yeah, so he's got this, like, scanner, right? And he sees the purple energy around the good guys. That's the negative energy.
Yeah.
So there's this green energy around them as well. Is that, like, foreshadowing of a big... Oh, also positive energy exists, and we'll use that to defeat Bagramon at the end.
I don't remember.
Bet it is.
I don't remember, actually, so I'm not sure.
I should bet it's not, because that would imply that there's foreshadowing, and I don't believe there's foreshadowing in this show.
You have such low hopes for this show.
Yeah, I do. That's correct. What of it?
Anyway, we also find out the most important thing is that Mervamon has an attack called Heartbreak Shot or Heartbeat Shot, which basically comes from her breast and they're just big boob lasers. It's not edited at all in the dub because I feel like they couldn't just remove all of Mervamon's attacks, so she just has boob attacks.
It's like Beyblade, but it's Booblade.
Booblade.
Michael Booblade.
So a Drillamon is approaching evilly, and his eyes show that he's evil because he's wearing eyeliner, because bad guys wear eyeliner apparently, and he's controlling all these metal Tyrannomon and tells them to fire. In the data collection, we get Rukamon, which is funny because Ruka was in this episode, and basically Ruka looks like a humanized Rukamon. In the dub, they're called Dolphmon, so there's less of a connection.
The eyeliner is just to signify that it's the shape-shifting version. Like, it's mostly for us. I don't think the characters can see it.
Yeah, well, it's super obvious if the characters could see it, so no, you're completely right.
Imagine they asked him, what did you do to your eyes?
Yeah, I would have loved that. If they said, hey, by the way, you had eyeliner on?
When did you do that?
I feel like if Mimi was here, she would have pointed out. As even Mumu would have.
Yeah, that's describing a lot of faith to Mumu.
Wow.
Hate that character.
The next line of my notes is, I can't believe Mervamon's attack, which is the boob missile.
Wait, you mean, I suppose the sexy dynamites?
I'm just more amazed at, like, I got over the sexy dynamite, because I was just like, you know what? This is either a Japanese thing that I don't understand, or it's a reference to Frontier. If it's a reference to Frontier, it's very good. If it's a Japanese thing I don't understand, it's a Japanese cultural thing. Like, I can't just get that. Like, it's fine, I'm fine. It's fine. Anyway, but I'm sure... she fires boob missiles. Only robot Digimon are allowed to fire boob missiles.
It's not true. Ikakumon is not a robot, and he fired a horn missile.
Yeah, but that's not a boob missile.
Yeah, but that's when you got seals, their horn is basically their boob.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's why they don't let you touch it. You ever tried to touch a seal's horn? Where am I going with this?
I don't know, but it's important to know that... I don't know.
Go ahead. Come on.
Somebody commented on a video of the YouTube video for episode 40, which is Wallace's Destiny's Child, and said, Holydramon is my pick. And I'm so right, Jay.
Wait, who said that?
I guess I'll read it in Postmon Pat, because we only have this and another one in Postmon Pat, so I guess that's something to look forward to in a little bit then. Because foreshadowing, I can do it, but the show can't. Anyway, Darulamon apologises and says he made them believe he was on their side, because he rejected the offer to join the Bagra army, and Taiki says that he believes him. Then, meanwhile, Darulamon says they're so easily trapped. Splashmon is watching and says they should continue to give negative energy if they just keep on fighting and arguing. Nene and Kiraha don't trust what's going on, but Kiraha walks off, and Taiki says that if Nene won't trust him, she can leave too. She
it
chooses
distinctly
to stay.
bothers me here, and this is exactly what I was talking about in the Postmon Pat, which is that while I understand, looking back on this, that Taiki knew exactly what he was doing, and I guess the other two were too stupid to figure it out, or, Kiriha did figure it out, but his plan was to do this, there is no good reason ever to split up as a team. If he truly suspected that they were being betrayed by Darulamon at this stage, it's not in Kiriha's character to turn around and be like, whatever. It's in his character to kill Darulamon right now.
No, actually, what we've seen is it's in his character to say, I'm leaving, but then kind of just watch from the sidelines to make sure they're okay. Because this is the second time he's done that. When he said he was leaving before the Lotmon episode, he still came around the side because he doesn't want to leave. He loves these guys.
I don't remember why he did that, but it was dumb then too.
He made up with something like, I thought it would be good to come from another angle. Ugh.
It's so stupid when they've assessed, and that when they've assessed that like they all need to do this together, and they've like finally come together. It's like, oh no, we're all one big team. And then he just goes away like this again. So terrible. It's garbage.
Anyway, so I don't think it's garbage.
It is though.
But I don't know. I think Kiriha's like a tsundere. It's important.
I don't care that he's a tsundere. He should be acting like a normal person.
Yeah. Darulamon says that Ruka was captured. Taiki grabs Cutemon and says he has a plan, so he brings out Cutemon and Revolmon. Cutemon runs off with Revolmon and heals the real Darulamon.
They find him very quickly. Yep. There's like no good reason that they find him this quickly.
It's not a big zone.
It's a city.
No,
it's huge.
Okay, so what we know about Revolmon is that he's really good at finding things. He's a tracker. He found you last episode, and now he's finding Darulamon. It makes sense because Revolmon apparently has this magic ability.
Okay, fine.
That's why I'm saying that it's understandable, because Revolmon's just kind of what he does.
He does have a giant nose to sniff out a trail.
You mean a blue gun?
I mean a giant nose. It just looks like a gun. With one big nostril.
I can't remember because usually I remember it, but did they still edit his gun blue in this episode? Cause
I believe they did not.
I always remember when they do, because it always looks really weird, but I don't actually remember them editing it, which is strange, because it begs the question
they must not have.
What, I know, but unless I'm just used to it, because I don't notice
think they did.
I don't notice Lilithmon's character design change either. I don't know. I might have to rewatch just to clarify. Anyway. So, Cutemon is healing the real Darulamon. Meanwhile, another Darulamon, spoiler, the one with the eyeliner, is approaching Nene and says that him and Taiki have decided that they will become Death Generals. Then
what a weird thing to say. Yep. Totally unbelievable.
Yeah, like, oh, by the way, we discussed it, and we're going to be Death Generals together.
In the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. So Splashmon captures Nene, and then an evil Nene misdirects Taiki to a trap, because they also have eyeshadow when they're evil. And that, maybe it is just a way for the viewer to work it out, but I still feel like they're just really, really dumb.
It's a bit of everything. Yeah. They are pretty dumb.
Splashmon will pretend to be Taiki now. Kiriha sees evil Taiki, and Kiriha says he'll come and help him. And then Splashmon was revealed by Kiriha because Kiriha's smart and realised that he wasn't Taiki, because Taiki would never let Kiriha go alone, even if he was injured. And that's really nice. They're friends.
Oh, he knows him now.
Meanwhile, Taiki's talking about how he was suspicious of Ruka since Darulamon mentioned it. And Taiki says he purposely aggravated Kiriha so he would leave, but he says he didn't expect Nene to stay. Kiriha says that Splashmon is the only Digimon here.
Hold on, can we just appreciate how that's like the opposite situation with each other, about how they're friends now and they know each other?
Yeah.
Kiriha's position is, okay, he wouldn't let me do this because Taiki's too good a guy. And Taiki's like, I knew he would leave because he's a coward. Not saying that particularly, but it's like, yeah, he always abandons people. I knew he would do that, and that's how I planned around it.
It's more that, he's easily upset, easily aggravated, he splits from the group easily.
I know, I'm exaggerating, but his version of this, which is like, I know this guy, is so much worse.
Yeah, well, they're different characters. Kiriha's still better than Matt.
Is he?
Yes. I'll die for him. It's fine, I love Kiriha.
Jeez, okay, serious.
Remember when we hated Toma and then we kind of like didn't hate Toma? That was nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then in the dub, they try to sympathise with Splashmon and say how lonely he must be. Then Splashmon digicrosses himself with the Drippin, which all have voices and are screaming along, and it's kind of terrifying. They're screaming like they're in some euphoria as they get digicrossed with him, which is weird because they're not Digimon.
But because he's like, this is the English, they kind of explain that, which is because they're part of him, it's more like they're just returning back to the source. They're just energy. Also, in the English, the music changes when they say he's lonely to make it like you have to sympathize with him. I get it. You're just lonely. And then he's like, yes, because I wanted to be. And then obviously the music changes and he's evil again.
Anyway, he becomes huge, and Kiriha says that Splashmon is water, and attacks pass through him. Splashmon takes off his suit to show his true form, and it's an angry, gross tiger. And I want to point out that this is really weird, that the dub title spoiled his form, not the Japanese. Because the dub title is The Water Tiger Slippery Trap. Why do we... Why do we mention, like, water tiger? Because we haven't seen a water tiger in the episode. It's weird. The dub spoils it, right?
You know what? It's the sort of thing where I go... A lot of, what's it called? I guess a lot of generals or something would have a nickname of some kind. And I wouldn't be shocked if that was his nickname. Now, I didn't give it a thought, but when I see this big, like, melting Garurumon, I go, yeah, okay.
It reminds me of, the tiger, Deva in Tamers.
I see that, but, like, seriously, if you put this up next to Garurumon and then just stretch the face down, it's like the same Digimon.
Same colours.
It's like the same pattern.
Shoutmon and Metal Greymon evolve, and Taiki doesn't know how to fight him because he's water. Mervamon tells Taiki to think of a plan while she fights him with her breasts. So Taiki and Kiriha double cross, which, you're right, is starting to sound like a really weird...
It means to betray someone.
Yeah. So they decide that the plan is to evaporate him with holy fire. He gets smaller and smaller and dies. Durumon says that Taiki is best for trusting friends, which mainly means that he's very believing, but he trusts his friends, and that's good.
I'm not sure I dig this like idea that you can just melt this thing away, because doesn't turning him into steam make him more powerful, because now he can fly?
Well,
because when you destroy Digimon, they turn into data, not steam.
Except if you're Vamdemon, who can just like kind of hover around as a ghost and possess some dude who's sad.
He could be a gaseous state.
Yeah, true. So there are 3 more countries to go until we're done. What do you think of this episode as someone who's new to Digimon?
I thought that first bit was the worst thing I've ever seen, and like it's just painful, and I wish I didn't have to watch it.
It's funny,
and the second bit is fine, and that's it. Like it's got clever bits to it, but because it's following up the worst thing ever, the whole thing is bad.
I give them a 7.
The first one's a 1, and that's generous, and the second one, because it's attached to the first one, is a 3.
Oh, okay. And how did both these episodes compare to your predictions in Obnoxious Synopsis?
I remember my prediction for the first one being, I don't know, and the second one being, I bet there's a really dumb reason they split up. And it's smarter than I thought it would be.
Look, it's smart. You can't say it's not smart. Like, it's not dumb.
Like, the only reason it's smart is because Taiki, like, worked it out and did it all by himself. But then it turns out really dumb because every character should have known Ruka was evil. And they should have just treated everything like it was suspicious. So dumb. In fact, the moment that Ruka tried to get Darulon to eat something, everyone should have been like, we're not eating anything here.
Yeah, basically.
Even though the food was fine, and there's no reason there shouldn't have been drippings in all the food.
Yeah, I feel like if they were smart, the food would have had stuff in it, right?
You know what would have been double smart? If Ruka just had not said anything. You've already brought them here, and now they'll just find objects and stuff and use them themselves.
Or just put the distrust dripping on the food. Like, that was just a source.
See, here's the problem, right?
Or juice, rather.
Here's the problem, is that in your big stupid comedy episode is the same time you're trying to set out like the big distrust scheme, which has to be written cleverly. So you're telling your audience there's no reason to take anything seriously, but everything's deathly serious. So what are you meant to... Like, that's why The Thing, the John Carpenter movie, isn't a slapstick comedy. Because to build tension in a scene, you have to take it seriously the whole time. And if you want to make it comedy the whole time.
Okay. And what was the major difference between the Japanese and English version? Because the second one did not have that many changes. Episode was fairly similar. Mainly fighting and running around and wearing eyeliner, but no differences in the second in episode 39.
Okay, so the thing that killed me, and I know this is like really, really minor, but okay, so even though Taiki does know about Ruka and stuff, in the last time on, at the beginning of the episode, in the English, you have the character who the audience thinks is fooled, right? At that stage, the audience thinks he believes. So his voice is saying, and this fake trickster was trying to spy on us. It's like, you're not meant to know that. And I know it's not actually him, presumably. It's not him in the story commenting on their own stuff. But you have to make it seem like you could do it in a way where they go, we found this girl, and, you know, Darulon thinks there's something off about it, but I can't see it. And, like, you see... They show it to you visually. They don't tell it to you in voice.
I like when it's a character who's not there. Like, for the first bit, or for the first, 40 episodes of Frontier, it was Ruki.
Yeah.
Then that was fine, because it made sense for her if she's watching. And same with Tamers when we had Daisuke doing the same thing. doing the next time on, the character's not actually there. The character can see the things that we see that the characters don't. It's fine.
That also makes sense, and I think I'd prefer that as well.
Yeah, like, bring in a voice actor from other seasons. Look, you have multiple voice actors in this series that have been in other seasons of Digimon. Get one of them just to narrate the first couple of minutes of every episode. It's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, get Ipmon to do it.
I mean, we have Itmon's voice.
Who?
Zenjiro, Jeremy in the dub.
Nah, he's gone. They fired him. What do you mean?
He's also the same voice as we had him in the last episode, Zamielmon. Anyway, his voice actor's still hanging around.
Who?
The Honey Fairy.
Who?
Honey Fairy.
Who?
Oh no, yeah, for you an owl.
Who?
Anyway.
On the new day.
There were not that many differences in either of these episodes. Ruka appears to be in love with Taiki in the dub, sort of. It's, I guess, maybe, but there aren't that many differences. Luca's name is Ruka.
Yeah, but that's just a translation straight up, because they're like, oh, the Japanese can't say L's.
So what are your thoughts on you not being under control by some darkness or brainwashed or whatever, like Ken and Koichi? He's just kind of crazy. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. It's a little bit like, on one hand, it's a bit clever that they can have this I don't know, this reason behind him being evil. It's like, oh, he thinks it's a game. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense. But on the other hand, it strikes me as really thin. Like, you can't make a series out of that, really. I don't think. Obviously, they're going to try, but it doesn't feel right, you know?
Digimon Adventure Try.
Wow, that was lazy.
I don't know. Whenever I hear the word try, I think about Try.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I won that giveaway that the voice actresses for Hikari and Sora had done, and they sent me the DVDs, and now I'm really happy. I need to get part 6 and get them to sign it, and then...
How are you going to manage that?
Because, like, you know how actresses and stuff, if you send them things, they'll sign it and then send it back?
Sometimes. Good luck.
They said they would.
Oh, okay. Well, if they told you that they would, it's totally different.
So I'll buy part 6 when it comes out, send it to them, and then obviously I have to pay for postage and stuff, which is fine. And then I'm going to frame it.
Incredibly expensive.
It'll be cool. Frame it.
Maybe it'll be cool, but it'll also be really expensive.
And then I want to also see if I can get other Digimon voice people to sign it. I really want to get more signatures. But
I've never understood getting things autographed, really.
It's cool.
Like going out of your way.
Like, if I go to conventions and stuff...
Also, I refuse to ever pay for autographs. That's garbage.
Yeah, I don't like what we seem to be having in conventions nowadays, which is just like, pay $50 for an autograph and then pay an additional $80 to get a photo with them. Madfest, I'm pretty sure, were free at least, right?
I do not remember.
I know that, like, Supernova and stuff, it's, like, really expensive.
The worst. Terrible business model.
I don't know. I don't like the idea that you have to
seems hostile to fans.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, do you want to meet this person you really like? You've already paid $80 to get into the convention. Do you want to pay over $100 just to get a photo and an autograph with them? Also,
because then I know it's really disingenuous with their time. Like, I know they're not here to see you anyway, but, you have to literally hire them for a couple seconds to sign a piece of paper. Yeah. I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable and weird, and I'd rather not see them.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Anyway, so as I said in episode 37, I really like the fact that Yu is possibly just evil and not under control of anything. I dig that. There were some Digimon introduced. We have Splashmon, JoJo's Bizarre Adventuremon. No, JoJo's Bizarre Digimon Adventure. Nailed it.
Oh, that's actually not bad. I'm shocked that you managed to make that one work.
Nailed it. So what do you think of Splashmon, who is must be a JoJo or some... He's a reference to something.
Okay? Yeah, just call the stand.
Yeah, he's a reference to something.
I don't think he is. I think he's just, Digimon design. Look at Ruka. What is she? She's from a different anime entirely.
She does look a bit like a Sailor Moon character.
Yeah, no, she does.
Or some magical girl show, like the Pretty Cure or whatever it's called. She'll say a character from that.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a magical girl anime. It's like...
No, I picked that part up because you said it with your words.
Yeah. But yeah, any thoughts of Splashmon? I like him. I like the fact he has mode change. I dig mode changes.
I hate mode changes, actually. I think they're the worst.
Oh no, you just don't like Frontier or 02.
You don't like Digimon. How about we get that
Oh my god. The two shows with mode changes that weren't like straight evolutions, 02 and Frontier.
Yeah, the bad ones.
I need to be alone.
Okay, go.
Anyway, what about Dormon, who is just Dark Talmon?
I replay my comments from whenever that Digimon was introduced, and you're there.
I like her.
Is it because it's Renamon again?
Yeah, but evil this time. Anyway, for Postmon Pat this week, So I didn't write this down because we didn't get that many messages. We originally only had one until like halfway through this episode.
Then I'll just let you read them to me.
Yeah, I'm reading them, yes. Jay wins this time.
Yes.
So, on With the Will, we have one from Chakmon, who says, biggest reveal, Mervamon has boobies. So much English editing to do. True. She also attacks with them, and that's not edited, which is surprising, but they already edited out her other attack. So,
well, the attack gets in the way of the boobs, so what are they going to do?
True, it does. It actually censors it for them. Less work for the English dubbers. And then we had one that we got, as I said, halfway through the episode from Jennifer on YouTube. And she commented on the episode 40, which is Wallace's Destiny's Child, which is the episode that we have on YouTube.
What a terrible name. Why did we call it that?
Because the Digi-Egg of Destiny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, and that's what he had. Because there's no Crest of Destiny or Crest of Miracles. Anyway, so Jennifer says, Holy Dramon is my pick. I'm so right, Jay, because I believe this is when we first had the argument of Holy Dramon or Fanimon.
I'm still correct, because one's an angel, and that's like a mirrored thing.
Yeah, and one's canon.
Yeah, mine. That's why she turns into an evil version of mine.
No, she does.
The good version is... No, shh.
Yeah, exactly.
No. That's enough
She turns into a Fanimon fall-down mode, and Polydramon. She doesn't.
No, that never happened. What do you mean?
No, a Fanimon's in your favourite season, Frontier. Anyway.
God damn it!
Jennifer then says, more seriously though, you guys are amazing and I love your podcast. I've only recently discovered it, and I'm listening through all the episodes in order while I'm at work. You both make my day brighter, and you make my digi-loving heart soar. Aww. I'm so
even
happy
me?
You guys...
That seems weird.
Even you. Yeah, I remember our first, few episodes was pretty rocky because everyone was saying, oh my god, he hates Digimon.
I hate that guy.
I think those people probably didn't continue listening, but the people who said,
Good.
hey, let's wait what he has to hear, actually say.
Let's wait what he has to...
Yeah.
Let's say what he has to hear.
I'm tired, and I have to be off my narcolepsy medication for another week, so... Excuse my brain.
Destroyed, I guess.
Destroyed. So Jennifer says, I'm so happy you guys are still doing it, and I have so many more hours of your delightful banter, arguing, and analysis to come. Thank you so much, and keep up the great work. And we do. We are now at episode 152, so that's 112 episodes later.
Okay, so quick maths. We have, 10 full days of content? Hold on, so 150... No, it's way more than that, isn't it? It's 300 hours of just main episodes?
No, but you don't understand. 152 episodes of the show. If they're listening to every episode in order, they have all of Atmon. That's 50 episodes.
No, I'm just talking about main shows. Think about it this way, right? If we've done 152 main shows, that's and approximately 2 hours per show, that's 304 hours.
It probably evens out to be more like an hour and a half per show, because we've done a few hour-long shows.
Yeah, but we've done some 3 hours as well, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at this episode on YouTube. It is 2 hours long.
We're 2 hours now.
No, yeah, but this is 2 hours, and we bantered about Australian politics and then Persona for probably 40 minutes or something.
Yeah, but Obson was 10 minutes. Point being that if it's approximately 2 hours per show, at 300 hours of show, let's bring up a calculator, just out of interest, 304... Yeah, there's almost 13 days worth of content if you never stop listening to them.
So I listen to a lot of my podcasts at 1.5 speed or 2 times speed. It's just how it's why I talk super fast, because that's just how I listen. Yeah. And I do it on runs and when I'm at work and when I'm in the car and stuff, and I listen to 2 times speed, and that's how I get through 20 podcasts a week. But what I just realised, if Jennifer's listening to them on YouTube, I don't think there's any way to speed it up.
There is actually, but whatever.
Is there? Oh.
In the options, you can totally speed stuff up.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, and that's better than I was about to say that. Yeah, because we officially have too many episodes for our RSS feed. It only shows the latest 250, and we've got 300 episodes.
Ah, boo!
So
stupid, outdated technology.
Yeah, I guess nobody ever thought they'd do a podcast for longer than 250 episodes. That's weird to me.
I sure didn't.
Anyway, so yeah, back to it. It's weird that our episode on a 40-minute thing, maybe half an hour, and it was only 20 minutes in the dub anyway. How did we talk about that for 2 hours?
What episode was it again?
It's part 3 of Digimon the movie.
Because we talked about all of Digimon the movie in English, I think. As a recap as well.
No, we watched the Digimon movie in 3 different parts. Remember,
yeah, but because it's the last one, we have to talk about the whole thing.
No, we didn't. Because it's not... We didn't.
I don't know. It was
only
really
watched
bad. It was like, we were talking about it because it was really, really bad.
I guess that's what we found, right? We found that if a show is good, we'll talk about it
Less.
an okay amount, and if it's meh, we'll talk about it not at all. Like, all our Cross Wars episodes are actually, like, the shortest episodes because it's just so okay. It's just like, well, this happened, this happened, and this is something I liked, this is something I didn't like, but nothing to go overboard with. If something's really, really bad, we'll go on about, like, our longest episode is from Frontier.
How long was it?
It was like 3 hours.
Interest. What? No.
I know we recorded for 4 hours and it became a 3-hour episode.
Okay.
Or at least like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Settle down, us.
Yeah, because we were mad. It was the one where they just went into the train. And it was on the moon. And they said they were building a refuge on the moon, and then there were no Digimon on the moon, and they...
That was the worst. That's the worst Digimon content that exists. When they get blown to the sky and they land on a train.
And then the train says that they were building a refuge, even though a couple of episodes ago they said that Digimon couldn't go to space because of some magnetic force, and then there were no Digimon on the moon when they got there.
I don't even remember that part.
It was so bad. I think you announced a contest if someone could make that good, and you'd send them something. And like, there were ideas, people tried, and it was a good effort, but
they all failed because it was impossible. Alright, everybody, join us for the next episode of Phantom in the Twilight, Gold Land and the Irate Pirate.
Or Cheerful Pirates Appear. By the way, pretty sure that's the opposite of irate, but never mind. Set sail for Goldland.
And Ballastmon's Bad News Blast from the Past.
Or Olegmon the Gold Thief Laughs. Farewell, Crossheart.
And Deep Trouble. Why'd they get me? In Kenyon Land.
Or Whispering to Kiriha, Earth God General of the Canon, the Devil's Invitation.
Did you do that on purpose?
What?
You said canon.
Did I?
Yeah.
Whoops. I didn't mean to. I'm tired.
That's too bad.
I have narcolepsy now to be without my medication. Please forgive me. Anyway.
Never forgive, never forget.
Hippity borp to Logan for the 28th. Happity borp borp.
Yes, happy birthday. That's what she's trying to say.
Hippity boop boop. You can find our link dump, link in the description. And our Redbubble is also linked in the description. And you can get more than just shirts there too, like sick mugs and stickers. You like stickers, you can stick them to things. You can contact us. Did you know? You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com. Or you can comment on this episode or message us on SoundCloud. Or you can follow us on LostinTranslationmon on Twitter, which is @TranslationMon. And you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will and a red thread in the Digimon subreddit, and we would appreciate if you would review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and any other podcast listening app that you use, because ratings really assist people finding out the podcast, and we'll read them. We haven't actually read a rating for a while, so get in there while no one else is doing it, I guess. And we have a website, vote in polls, check out our release schedule, check out our blog posts.
Oh, okay, you sound like you're in the middle of a sentence, even though I can see it. Alright, you can donate to our Patreon, which is linked in the description, for as little as $1 a month, which gets you access to our listener Slack chat group, but there are higher levels with more rewards, such as notes, early episodes, and more. And thank you to our Patreon supporters, Sam Krieger, Stevie, who is Stevie Padman on Tumblr, and currently taking commissions there, Joe, Anime Guy, who's Anime Guy Kurosaki and the number 1 on YouTube, Chuckmon, Hirolado, who's at FightFeng Huang on Twitter, Ryuchi, who's Magic on Archive of Our Own and Inkit.com/Ryden Allen, Stephen Reeves, who's WildWing64 on AO3, I finally remembered, Kaidawashi, Mac, Noam, Riku, Cheeksai, who you can follow at Cheeksai236 on Tumblr, Kyle, the Lady Bugman, whose anime blog you can read at baguburagu.wordpress.com, Glitchgoat, Matthew, Anthony, who's at AntoClassic on Twitter, Lizmet, who's Lekmon on Tumblr, Quinn, Sithobi, Megan, Kailiak, Neobu, The Time Optimist, Silverhead Freak 25, who's at SHF25Tweets on Twitter, Nicholas, Anthony Z, Harrison, and Michael C.
You can also make one promotion on our PayPal, which found in the description. It's paypal.me/Algernon. Make sure to listen to the podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye!